Ji, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Zishan Rahat Qureshi. I'm Principal Advisor Test Prep at United States Education Foundation, Pakistan. We are also known as Fulbright Commission. So we started our operations back in early 50s with the joint cooperation between the government of United States and the government of Pakistan. We have been sending students to the United States for masters and PhD scholarship for a long time now. So today we have three amazing alumni who will be talking about their Fulbright journey. We have with us Dr. Abdul Haq Chang, we have Mahin Salim Khosa, and we have Fahad Naveed. So next I'll request Fahad to start with his presentation so that the students can take advantage of the experiences. Over to you, Fahad.
Thank you, Zishan. Great to be here. Assalamu alaikum and hello, everyone. My name is Fahad Naveed. I am a Fulbright scholar. I went for my master's in 2017 and I went to NYU and I studied news and documentary film in the journalism program at NYU. A little bit about myself. I work as an interdisciplinary storyteller. I'm currently working with Dawn, the newspaper. And by interdisciplinary storytelling, I mean that the work that I do, the themes and issues that I engage with, I work with them on different using different mediums. So I am primarily a journalist and a filmmaker, but I also make use of my skills as an artist. I'm trained as an artist in undergrad. And essentially using these different mediums that are at my, that I'm familiar with to engage with the kind of conversations that I am interested in. Interdisciplinary research is a field that's really coming up, and there's not a lot that's happening here in Pakistan especially on the level of in terms of graduate studies. And that's really where I think for those of you who are interested in this kind of an approach, I think there's a lot of great programs out there in the United States, and one of them was the NYU program, and I'll talk a little bit about my experience there. But on your screen, you see two images, for example, just to give you a sense of, so the first is a poster for my thesis film, which was called Puff Puff Park, and that was a film which was, it worked on two levels. The first was my personal journey of quitting smoking after learning that my mother has been diagnosed with cancer. And the reportage bit was looking at associations of smoking with gender, and also looking at things like when so to say, the developed world moves towards becoming smoke-free, how big tobacco then channels more funds into countries like ours and how that impacts us. So that's the film. But as you can see, I've after coming back, I've continued to work on this. This is a piece that I wrote on in the op-ed pages of Dawn. So really kind of doing the same or covering aspects of the same issue and story while trying to find different kind of audiences and people who engage with them. A little bit about my background. I received my bachelor's from the Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture before going on to work with the Herald magazine. And I was still at Dawn when I left for my Fulbright. I also ran and continued to run an interdisciplinary artist collective called Mandir Jazel Collective. We have shown at various galleries. This visual you see on your left is a poster from a show that I co-curated at the Koel Gallery in Karachi. Then there is a cover of the Herald you see, and on the right you see a installation that we had put up at the Karachi Biennale, and it was questioning the way that the Afghan refugees are represented in Pakistani media. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey to Fulbright selection, what exactly I was looking for when I started searching for programs, and the kind of mistakes that I made along the way. And hopefully some of you will learn from this and not make the same mistakes. So I think one of the things that I would really like to stress upon is the program selection. You will see all sorts of programs, and it can be quite overwhelming, especially within the humanities and the art space. I feel like there's just a lot of different kinds of programs that are out there. And a lot of the times, if you really start to kind of look into it and deconstruct it, a lot of them are saying the same thing, but like there's a lot of like jargon thrown around. Or kabhi kabhi banda bahut overwhelmed ho jata hai, just like reading these things and just like feeling like an imposter. But like it's just look beyond the kind of big word and the thodi bahut ye academia ke andar. Like I say there's a little bit of like these there are these hierarchies in place, and thoda accessibility ka definitely issue hai within academia. So like look beyond those things, look beyond this language, actually see ke program kya hai, and that will really help you ascertain what's the best program for you. So I think I will talk about the fact that, for example, I applied to the Fulbright twice. So some of you might be people who have applied in the past and they did not get in. Please do not get discouraged. It's not really a reflection on anything, but the fact that there's a lot to also applying, and that's really why alumni who are here, and all these people who have been through this process. There's a method to the madness as well. So sometimes it's just that you just didn't have the right application. And so like in my first year, for example, the mistake that I made was that I applied for mostly film only programs, even though I wanted to study documentary. But my background was in journalism and more kind of like the arts and an interdisciplinary kind of a space. So the program that you select, it needs to be like a logical next step in your journey. And you need to really demonstrate that within your essays and your application as well. I know that some of my colleagues will be talking about the essays a little bit more as well. But I think especially if you're applying for more kind of arts kind of programs or film kind of programs, it really comes down to what your experience already is, and how going for graduate school in the US will how that's the next logical step in your journey. The other thing that I would like to stress upon is for all of those who, like myself, are like people who are coming from like an arts kind of a background. आपने शायद सालों से मैथ्स की किताब को हाथ नहीं लगाया होगा. Like आपने शायद I myself, of course, I write, like so the language components were easy for me, but like the GRE can be really daunting. And if you're on those groups, the GRE prep groups, a lot of them are really helpful and they're excellent. But at the same time, it can be very overwhelming because you have a lot of students out there and a lot of applicants out there who are much better trained to take these kinds of tests. Like if someone is applying for a maths program or an engineering program, of course, their quantitative scores and yours will not be comparable. The good news is that they don't need to be. So एक जो ये GRE का fear है, ये जितना ज़्यादा, of course, the GRE is very important and you have to give it your all. But at the same time, don't. It's just one aspect of your application, and really, what's important is that the kind of programs that you select, the statements that you write, they really need to give the people who are on the other end reading your applications a real sense of ke acha inhone ye kiya hai, and this is what they plan to do when they're in the US, and this is what they plan to do when they come back. So really like have a bigger picture in mind and don't get overwhelmed by people who are like, there will be people jinke matlab full aayenge quant mein, and like if you're like myself, that's something that aap kar hi nahi sakte. So like that, and that's fine. That really is like there's much more to it. Give it your all, of course. And even with the GRE as well, a lot of it is just about practice. And if you're rusty, then it'll take you a little more time than some of the other applicants. That's perfectly fine. But that's just one of the things that is on your application. I already spoke about my 2 attempts, and I think the acceptance that I got at the second time that I applied, I actually got into all the programs that I'd applied for. And that's really because I had chosen programs which at the end of the day were going to let me do documentary film, but were much more in line with my career trajectory thus far as a journalist and as someone who kind of sits in these kind of like interdisciplinary spaces which don't really like बहुत neatly एक category में उन्हें लाना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है. I'll just talk to you now a little bit about my Fulbright experience. My Fulbright experience was really, I think, some of the most like valuable years, and like in terms of my own personal development as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, but also as an individual. So I think I've already spoken about selecting the right program, but selecting the right program also means then like look beyond just the academics or look beyond just the courses being offered, which is of course very important, but that's just one aspect. Like for example, the program that I chose at NYU, I think it's very it really served me very well because I was able to be in the city which is like at the which is really the center for documentary filmmaking the world over. So like, you know, there are a lot more kind of opportunities there. There are a lot more networking opportunities. There are a lot more kind of, you know, places and seminars where you can learn beyond just the classroom. And if you're in a city like New York, that makes it all the more easier. And those are like, I'm not saying that everyone needs to go to New York. I'm just saying that it just made a lot of sense for me. And I think usi tarah se, as much as you can think about when you're out there, the kind of research that you want to be conducting, what are the places that are giving you that kind of those kinds of opportunities. And I think also filming and reporting in New York, I myself am from Karachi, and so I think it just makes, there's a lot of parallels to be drawn between like trying to get information, trying to like a lot of the like, you know, आपको if those of you who do this kind of like research, आप यहाँ कराची में भी आप लोगों के पास बात करने जाएंगे तो हो सकता है कि वो आपको मतलब कुछ एक बहुत ही गुस्से वाले रिमार्क और गाली के साथ वो आपको भेज दें. The same thing will happen to you in New York as well. So really like it's about like, you know, kind of making within your context आप इस तरह से select करें जगहें which makes sense for your the kind of practice that you are going towards. The other thing that I will just point out is admission requirements. So your now those of you who are applying for things like film, your admission process will be slightly different from your colleagues, because most of your colleagues, after they've gotten the Fulbright scholarship, a lot their advisors will be in touch with the universities and they'll be sending in all your essays and statements. Of course, that's going to be the case for you as well. But every program, or at least that was the case in my experience, is going to have its own portfolio requirements. So आपको अपना portfolio जिस जगह पे भी आप apply कर रहे हैं, it doesn't mean that you need to have like a new body of work for every place. It's just a matter of adapting it to what they're kind of looking for a lot. And like really, I mean, in very like bland terms, it's a lot of it is just about kind of also marketing yourself, because I mean, if you've made it to the stage कि आपको Fulbright भी मिल गई, कि आपको like, you know, that these programs are getting in touch with you for your portfolios, you clearly have something and you have a real shot at like getting into these programs. It's simply a matter of like letting them know that you are the right candidate for their program. Also keep in mind that a lot of these graduate programs बहुत छोटे होते हैं. Like my program had like my class had like 10 people within my program. So these are incredibly competitive programs, and you have people who want to study what you want to, and who are applying from around the world and bringing in their own experiences. So you just need to like be as true to who you are, and just like kind of put forward that why you should be the candidate that they should invest in and work with. I think that really continues also once you are out in the US. And so I'll speak to my own experience with like visual journalism and filmmaking in the US. I think a lot of it is also about recognizing the importance of your own voice. Like do stories, do I think बहुत ज़्यादा एक होता है कि मैं एक unique चीज़ kya la raha ya la rahi hu isko in this conversation, and also kind of going beyond that into how, like, is this something that I can see myself, like, is this something that I'm interested in researching, like, and going beyond and perhaps exploring in depth for the next year, for the next 2 years, and really kind of finding and falling in love with like those kinds of topics. And you'll see that a lot of these are going to be the ones that are closer to your context. So like, for example, while I was there, I did a lot of kind of storytelling and work with the diasporas, with like refugee communities, and like just kind of people whose context I could understand. And also जो वो बात कर रहे थे उसकी nuances मुझे बेहतर समझ आ रही हैं, as opposed to the people who are in my program who do not come from my background, right? So they do not. So also kind of understanding and recognizing these what you are bringing to the table and the uniqueness of your voice. Remember that it's always personal. Like I really, I think at this stage in my career, I really believe that all the storytelling that you do, everything, if it's truly something that is important to you, it comes from a personal place. Either it's something that you feel like is not being talked about enough, either it's something that you feel like मैंने इसके बारे में कुछ एक्सपीरियंस किया है, मेरे पास एक ऐसा पर्सपेक्टिव है जिसमें मैं really एक build upon कर सकता हूँ, which again goes back to even with my film, for example. Like when applying for my program, I had pitched a very different final film. But when I was in the position to make my film, was the time that I learned about my mother's diagnosis of cancer, and that was really kind of stemming into all my work. And I think that is really where like the personal and the reportage can, you can find ways to balance those things. And I think at programs like my program at NYU, there really is a lot of encouragement to take those kinds of approaches. I think another thing that's very, very important is that when you're researching programs and when you're applying, also look at the people who are teaching there. So a lot of these people are going to be professionals, and it should be professionals who you want to work with, who really inspire you, who you feel like you can have a relationship with, a professional relationship with, beyond just the 2 years or however long you're going to be studying with them. So this, for example, is an image of me and some of my classmates with Kirsten Johnson, who's an incredible filmmaker who's continued to be a mentor for me beyond just my time in the US. And really kind of find people who are like, another great thing about my program was that it was a mix of people like Kirsten, who have a very like contemporary kind of an approach, versus my program director Marsha Rock, who comes from a much more kind of a traditional place. So like finding people from whom you can learn kind of different aspects of whatever your medium or area might be. I think the other thing also will be looking beyond just the classroom. So I've spoken about this a little bit, but also if you're in the US, you will find a lot of within New York, you'll find that there's a lot of events and things happening. I should give the caveat that I went before COVID. So like, of course, us waqt pe you could go to like all sorts of networking events. These two images are from the New Yorker Film Festival, and that's Riz Ahmed in conversation with the moderator there. And this is a book launch of the Duplass brothers, who are two producers who I've always kind of looked up to, who also produced this Netflix series called Wild Wild West. So like really kind of also finding people who are interested in your context, and like kind of like South Asian stories and things as well. It's easier in New York because it's like such a diverse, like a city, and you have people from all sorts of backgrounds who are coming in and bringing in their own unique perspectives to the table. Okay, so now I'll just talk about the scholarship's impact. So I came back to Pakistan with my film, of course, and I think that's really been the biggest impact on me, is that I really, I think sometimes it's just about when you're when you're out here, when you're working jobs, sometimes you may be working like more than one jobs, like everyone has to hustle. Usme it becomes very difficult to find time for your own practice, for your own to really like do a film, which is just like a passion project, which is really what Puff Puff Park was for me. And so really that's been the biggest impact for me, that I've been able to come back and bring back this film, which has not only I've been able to show it in different cities across the country, but also that's been able to travel the world. And now I'm actually like in a position where I'm a little jealous of my film, because it gets to travel the world in a moment where, like, we're all kind of quarantining and in lockdown. But it really goes to show how, like, your research and these kinds of works, there's no bounds to it, and there's no like circumstance, like even in these kind of unprecedented times, people things go on, and like festivals go on and conferences go on, and like these, they can still continue to have impacts, and those conversations might be happening online, but they continue, and you can be a valuable part of these conversations. The other thing for me is also the big impact is the alumni network that the Fulbright offers. So this is me talking to another alumnus, Haya Fatma Iqbal. Haya is also a documentary filmmaker, an Oscar and Emmy-winning documentary filmmaker, actually. And she went to the same program as me very many years ago. And so she was in the process of setting up the Documentary Association of Pakistan, which is an organization which works with documentary filmmaking and for the promotion of documentary film, and it's a filmmaker-run organization. And Haya reached out to me. It was through the Fulbright network, and really that's when we got together, and like, of course, with other filmmakers, we've set up this platform. I think really it's really about these, making these connections, and like finding these new for one, your Fulbright, everyone's experience is different. But in my experience, my Fulbright Pakistan friends who were there, they're literally like family to me right now. But also even the people who you meet after that, even beyond that, there are so many, like, just because you're part of this network, there's a lot of opportunities there to not only like make connections, but make really meaningful connections, which can result in beautiful things like this program that we run. And I think as a final thing about the impact on my career, I would say, like, largely I used to work for Dawn before I went to the US. I still work for the Dawn, but I think really what it's done is that it's allowed me to work on my own practice more, and the kind of like interdisciplinary approach that I've taken. And so after coming back, I've been able to do to have a lot of collaborations and a lot of different kind of programs. One is, of course, the images slide screen grab that you see is from a review of the film and about a conversation that happened at T2F right after I came back. But also beyond that, so the Basi News post that you see is about a program, about an initiative that I've launched with some support from the British Council, and I'm collaborating with a filmmaker, again from NYU, who is based in Bangladesh. And this basically looks at the news cycle, and it's about how in the race to break news, especially in like our parts of the world, how nuance is often left behind, and how like people's stories are left behind. And then on the bottom, there's a art installation that I did in Islamabad with the Justice Project Pakistan, and this was about the 11,000 Pakistanis languishing in foreign jails. And so we had represented this with by creating an installation using 1,100 suitcases, and really I think it's it's really my training in the US and my kind of just the reset that going for a grad program gives you, that's allowed me to develop not just my my work as a journalist at Dawn, but also work ahead, and but also like go forward at with my own personal practice. with that, I think I am just about done and out of time, and I will ask Mahim to please start. Thank you, guys.